and welcome to Dolores Kitchen. My name is Nina Delore. I'm coming to you today and I'm making one of my favorite desserts, chocolate molten cake. This is my dieter's downfall, but I just love making this and of course eating it. I have set up here my mise en place of my chocolate, butter, sugars, everything I'm going to use to make this chocolate molten is all set up right here. But first we're going to get started with oiling the pans, the little cups. I'm just going to put a little oil in them, brush them with a pastry brush. Once we have oiled them, I'm going to use some parchment paper that I have cut out to put inside. This right here helps the bottom of the chocolate molten from sticking, because this cake is not going to bake all the way. So I've noticed that in previous times and using it, even without the paper, it would usually stick. So I use the parchment to keep it from sticking. And now we will set this aside. Next, we are going to take, now I have to make some adjustments on this particular recipe because usually I use a semi-sweet chocolate chip. But now this is a bittersweet, really expensive chocolate. So I have to make adjustments and adding a little sugar in order to make it sweeter, as sweet as the normal with the semi-sweet chocolate chips. So I'm just going to add this sugar and bring it to the stove. I'm going to add just a little water and I'm going to cook this sugar just until it melts. I'm trying to get all this grains, the granulatedness out of the sugar. Once my sugar is just about where I want it to be, I'm going to add some butter. And my chocolate. And we're going to melt this down. Once we have our chocolate and butter and sugar all nice and melted, we're going to start adding the other ingredients. With a whisk, we're going to add in a little red wine, a little vanilla, next we're going to add powdered sugar. I'm just going to sift it right into the container. Stir it till it's all well mixed. Next, we're going to add our eggs and egg yolks. Mix till well combined. Next, we're going to add all-purpose flour, and some spices. You can add the spice if you want or no. I'm using cinnamon and ginger. You can use allspice, a combination of the three, or one of each, or none at all. And mix this until well combined. Now we're going to pour this in a large container. this amount will make 8 chocolate moltens. Now to fill the cups. We're going to fill them just about all the way full. Now that all our cups are filled, I'm going to place it in a 375 degree convection oven. Convection just means that the air in the oven will be blowing around. If you're using a regular oven, you're actually going to put the temperature up to 425 degrees. The difference between a regular oven and a convection oven is by 50 degrees. And I'm going to only bake mine for about 6 to 8 minutes. If it's a regular oven, you're probably going to do about 15. Now that our chocolate molten cakes are finished, we're going to let them cool on a speed rack until they're cool enough to dislodge out, and then we will do a presentation. Chocolate molten cake, the molten is when you open this, it should be like liquid in the inside. That's why it's molten, or it's called chocolate lava cake. It's the same thing, and even though it only baked for about 8 minutes, I still turned it around because sometimes within the oven it has your hot spots and your cooler spots. So in order to make the adjustments, after half the time I would turn it around. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, since our chocolate molten is cool, we're going to go ahead and plate it up for you. Just take your little knife, just run it around the edge, just to loosen it up. You see how it didn't stick? Then you just take this paper and just peel it off. Then we're going to put it on the plate. I have some blackberries and strawberries. Dust it with a little powdered sugar, a rosette of whipped cream, and there you have chocolate molten cake. But to show you the molten, I'm going to take my fork and cut a wedge out, and there you see that nice molten on the inside, and that's what you want. You want it to molt on the inside. Now I'm going to have my tasting feasting with this. Wow, yeah, we'll start the diet next week. Until the next tasting feasting, keep the pot on a simmer and enjoy. Thank you.